What's going on, guys? Indomi-Nick Rex here. And in case you're wondering, what am I doing in this unusual getup? Yes, who just graduated? This guy. And a bunch of other people as well. Congratulations to all of you who have graduated today. Well, tonight, rather. I don't know, it's time schedule. Some of you may have graduated during the day. I graduated somewhere towards 4 p.m. I don't know, it started at 6 and not important. In case you're wondering, yes, it is official. I've graduated with the diploma and everything. So now why am I here in a YouTube video dressed up like this? Just doing whatever. Well, because I'm excited I graduated. But I'm also here to impart some words of wisdom on you once more. Also, in case you're wondering, well, Dominic, why isn't there a tassel on your graduation cap? Well, see, when it was time for us to toss the hats up in the air, I tossed mine up in the air like this. Like I tossed it up in the air and it went flying above my head, and when I came back down, the tassel wasn't there anymore, so I lost the tassel, and when I went around to look for it, it wasn't there. So I lost the tassel, so I'm a complete failure in that regard.
Ha! I didn't.
Shut up, Ravenwood, this isn't about you. It's not always about Ravenwood. We should make that a series one day.
No, we should make that a running gig. Well, never mind. Let's continue.
Not important.
Not important. Okay.
Now, in regards to graduation, now guys, getting serious now. Even though I'm not in particular a serious person. So, let's get real for a minute. Graduation. What does graduation mean for some people? Well, for me, graduation is taking a step into the real world. And for some of you, this might be the same case as well. It's taking a step into the real world and leaving behind all those baby steps you had made in the dirt in high school and further back. Okay, graduation is basically like, you're out of high school, welcome to the big leagues. This is where the adults hang out. And now for some people, that kind of transfer can be kind of sudden. Well, guys, when I was up there on stage getting my diploma and everything, my heart was in my throat. And I was literally thinking, that's not where you should be right now. Get back down there. Because I was literally about to throw it up.
What? You have a heart? Okay.
In a few minutes, our cameraman will not have a heart. That much I can tell you.
Okay, I'll be serious.
Yes. Save this for another gig. Anyways. So, by the way, sorry for the mess, everyone. We forgot to clean up.
Well, we're working on some stuff. As you can see.
That's kind of his fault.
No, I'm working on some stuff. Right now...
no! That's
no! You raised beers!
No spoilers!
Okay.
Worry about that later. Okay,
beers and theirs! Who will win in a fight?
We're focusing on actual words with them right now, Ravenwood. Get your head in the game. Okay.
Get your head in the game.
I will slap you if you quote that High School Musical reject.
Okay, I won't.
Now, look, graduation, guys, it can be a scary transaction from everything you were comfortable with, everything that was in the safetyness of the high school, middle school, elementary school, and so on. And it is kind of scary to make that transaction from your youth towards an adulthood. And that's essentially what a high school graduation is. It's a kind of a transaction taking your first steps towards adulthood. Now, some of you may think, well, I thought your first steps towards adulthood was when you hit puberty or something and when you turned 13. Well, I say to you people, if that was the case, when did you start acting like adults then? Why haven't you yet? Take a long moment to think about that. Okay? Take a moment, think about that. But no, graduation is technically the first transactional step into the real world and everything that comes along with it. Now, for some of you, this change might be a little scary. Now, let's talk about that for a moment. Change is relatively kind of scary for some people. Not many people like change. Okay, you may be so comfortable with one thing. Like, for the longest time, I was only a fan of these little guys. I was a huge dinosaur fan, and that was all I was ever interested in. The dinosaurs and stuff like that, with the occasional Godzilla in between. But then this is a terrible example, but I eventually started expanding beyond my comfort zone. That's a bit of a change. Now, at first I was like, I don't like that. It's not really my cup of tea.
But look behind him right now.
Look behind him. Eventually I got all interested in stuff like crocodiles and
Godzilla
and Pokemon and Star Wars.
and manga.
All this manga stuff right behind me. Some Alien vs. Predator, some more Star Wars, some stuff here that's probably off camera. Anyway,
There, now it's on camera.
I have a whole collection of whales, some stuff here, and some things from my childhood that I just left there because
But
sometimes it's okay to hold on to things that you left from your childhood that you haven't thrown away yet.
Dominus, and Dominic, all those things are related to one thing: lizard-like. You got lizard-like monsters. You got Pokemon, which are animals.
Star Wars.
Yeah, and we can find stars as a kind of
All
the outlier.
Anime manga stuff.
But look behind him on his right. Well, on our right. Your left. Ruby!
That's Ruby. That's not lizard-like at all.
Yeah, and if you want to go over to what he likes about me, now I'm not saying this is about me, but there's some things you like about that I like.
I don't like anything about you.
No.
I hate you with
Some
every
things we
fiber
can
of my
agree, like aliens.
But I hate you with every fiber of my being, Ravenwood. You're a Marvel fan, and for that I hate you.
Yeah,
You keep insulting the fact that
No, I don't. I just think that Marvel's better than DC. How am I insulting you?
For the last few days, you've done nothing but downright insult my interest in DC. And for that, I hate you.
No, I don't.
For this, I will hunt you down.
No, I'm the random fan. I don't hate people.
I will cut you down.
I just think it's silly what half of the DC people do.
Speaking of silly.
Silly. Yes. Sorry.
This has gone way off topic.
Sorry.
And it is your fault, Raven.
I know, it's my fault.
I will severely punish you.
So. That sounds weird.
Also change, guys. Now, what does change mean for us? What does change... Well, let's ask someone who has gone through a series of changes. Believe it or not, Ravenwood here has dealt with certain changes in his life. And it may not have gotten him so far in life because he's now the simpleton that he is.
I'm confused. Is this about DC and Marvel?
No, I'm actually talking about actual changes in your life. Like, guys, if you've gone through any significant changes, feel free to talk about it in the comments below. This is Words of Wisdom. We like to discuss certain topics and try to give you some advice. And today the topic is about change. And for me, that symbol today was my graduation. That first transaction towards a bigger change in my life.
What about the random phantom? Isn't this a big change?
Not as big as this.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm getting off topic again.
Yes, you are. It's kind of annoying.
I'm just asking. Sorry, questions. I should have waited till the comments. Okay, starting out now.
I should bring back the original cameraman. He was quiet. He was quiet during these things. You know, if you guys believe I should bring back the original cameraman.
Anyway. Change is important.
Yes.
Change is healthy.
Well, in some cases, it depends on how you look at it. Now, in the long run, guys, in many ways, change is good for you.
Maybe I should start talking about change.
In some ways, change isn't. Change sometimes can hurt people. Sometimes people aren't ready for all these big changes that'll lead them into the real world. Because, you know, like I said, some people aren't ready for it. But change isn't always that bad. Now, growing up, I had to move around quite a bit from school to school, and there were a lot of changes there. Some of the changes I wasn't all that fond of, but I had to go through it, and it got me here. Now, here, you might ask, well, where is here? Well, it got me back in Watkinsville. See, I was originally in Prince Avenue, and then I ended up here, and then I ended up at Cedar Shoals, then I ended up at East Jackson, then I ended up back here.
What will change for fandoms and stuff? How can we help I'm
not talking about changes in fandoms generally, okay? People adjust their interests. That's one of those changes that's easy to make. I'm talking about lifelong transitional changes, like my graduation, for example.
Okay.
Or like if you were moving houses. Okay, and yeah. Those are some of those life-altering changes that some people are uncomfortable with. Now, how do you deal with changes like that? Well, most of the time, look toward the people that are going through the changes with you. Those are sometimes the best places to go, the best people to go to.
Am I a place? I'm sorry, I'm not a place.
You're a thing, Ravenwood.
Love-hate situation.
You're a thing that I have yet to decide where you exist on. Like, you're not exactly. I don't even know where your kind sit currently on the fossil record. I'm gonna have to do some digging to figure out which species you are.
Love-hate, guys.
No, this is purely just.
Speaking of love-hate, I love the fact that you have your thing on for this episode change, but you need to straighten out your what do you call it, a collar? That thing. There we go. Thank you.
Case in point. All right, we're getting off topic.
Let's get back on topic.
Well, it would be easier to.
Shut up.
Yeah,
I know. Okay.
Okay. Which is.
That is a change I'll have to do that too.
This is a change that he cannot get back, guys. Some people in your life are just never going to change the way they act.
And sometimes that's good. Like, sometimes not changing is good.
Sometimes people not changing is actually, in the long run, way better than asking them to change.
Because
for example, if you're going to a social outing with that awkward friend of yours, but that awkward friend of yours is in fact your best friend, but you want him to act differently than who he actually is. You want him to be different than who he is. Well, if he's your best friend, why ask him to be something he's not?
Yeah, and the way I see it,
That's a kind of change that isn't really necessary, guys. Sometimes people, for better or for worse, can't really change who they are by nature. Although, guys, there is always the aspect of people changing, a transitional change from good to evil, or evil to good. That kind of change people can make.
I would like to point out something. I think I'm catching on to what you're saying. If everything changes all at once, then no one will keep up. But if some things change at their own rates, then not only people can... I'm now confused.
Yeah, see, leave the philosophical thinking to the people who actually have brains.
Well, right? What I'm getting at is that if everything starts changing, then people won't keep up. Like your friends, for example. If all your friends start to change, then what will be the ordinary?
You'll have to excuse him, ladies and gentlemen. He's very slow, like Internet Explorer.
No.
Or Safari.
I tried my best.
To get back on the basic point here, the best way to deal with these important kinds of changes sometimes is just looking towards the people that are going through similar changes as you. Because those sometimes are the best people to give you good advice with. Or, as a matter of fact, you could both learn and grow together in these changes and learn from it together. And that way you can both learn and mature from it. Repetition, now the picture. But that's basically one of the best ways I can really point out how to help move through these changes, guys. Sometimes the best way is just look towards the people who have been down this road before that you know, or people that you know that are going through these changes as well. People who are being affected as well by these changes.
Yeah, and no one can change, and no one can control change, except for Captain
Change is an inevitability, guys.
Yeah, except for Captain Ginyu. Only Captain Ginyu can change his appearance. But that's just appearances. You can change your appearances, but you can't change outcomes of certain events.
See, why do you have to go bringing up all this random stuff?
Change now! Sorry. Anyways, continue, please.
You'll have to excuse him. He's very slow. Like Internet Explorer.
You said that
or
joke.
Safari.
Well, now Google is starting.
Because you're becoming very slow. And if you keep this up, I'm going to have to shut you down.
I'm just trying to
add my... painful way, where the computer ends up broken and the screen cracked. And your camera dismantled. But life threats out of the way.
Yeah,
life-threatening changes.
Yes!
Thinking about that.
Yeah, anyways, let's get serious.
Well, it's impossible to get serious when you keep throwing all this at me.
Then maybe you need to change your perspective.
Or maybe
outside.
Or maybe I just need a change of people to work with on this channel.
Good point. I can't fire you because that would only help you win.
And I could easily get rid of you and just bring on someone else.
No, you mean you quit and then...
No, I can easily take over.
That doesn't matter. Changing
the topics. But yeah, to be serious, as serious as Ravenwood can get right now, well, there it is, guys. Change is an inevitability that sometimes we just can't avoid. And when it's there and you're meeting it head on, well, sometimes the best thing to do is to just meet it head on and see where the adventure takes you. And sometimes people actually like the adventure. They'll pursue it in order to see where the day takes them next. Like the thrill seekers of the world. Like Yang Xiaolong from Ruby.
Even if you don't see change, sometimes
Even if
change...
you don't seek change, sometimes change will come seeking you.
Or the change may be so small you might miss it.
Yeah.
To-
Case in point, all I'm trying to say, guys, sometimes change is scary. And that is understandable. Sometimes you're just not ready for the change. I definitely wasn't, yet here I am. But
we're still not talking about change of currency.
that is something that cannot be helped. Despite everything we try.
How do I get rid of my change? You can get rid of pocket money change, but you can't get rid of change.
The only thing in this world that we cannot be rid of is your face, Ravenwood. That face is a monument that somehow withstood the tests of time and cannot be destroyed, despite my best efforts. As some that will haunt us for the rest of our lives. It'll probably still exist even after your death.
Hey, you can only change your perspective of my face.
Even that is something that will not change. There are some changes you can control. But for the changes you can't control, guys, seek out help. Something that'll help you move through it. Because, like a certain song I'm reminded of, no man is an island. And what I interpret that to mean is that no one should have to go through all these changes alone. I definitely didn't go through all the changes in my life on my own. I got help, and sometimes asking for help is a scary part of change as well. Sometimes, guys, asking for help is the most beneficial way to deal with all these changes that you're so afraid of. Otherwise, guys, how else are you going to deal with change? Now, some of you may be strong enough to be like, change. Okay, let's see where this goes. Let's try it out. And if you are, good for you. You've got something. But, some people aren't as bold and adventurous as the rest of you people are. Some people actually might need other people to roll through the motions and all the billowing waves of reality. They may need people to help them roll through all of that in order to get to where they're going. And speaking of which, I've basically blown through most of my enterprise here. So I'm going to call it that, guys, and leave you all to think about this. And if you want to discuss this any further, just leave some comments down below of what you think change means to you, and we'll see if we can talk to you about it. Maybe learn some things from you as well as you learning things from us.
Don't forget to talk about the change that you can't control in your life and reflect to others. Reflect on others.
Reflect as well.
Yeah.
Because, guys, we're all a community, and it takes a village. It really does have a deeper meaning behind it, other than just.
And before
So,
we,
guys,
sorry.
I'm gonna close this out because Ravenwood's starting to get talkative again. So I'm gonna have to silence him here. If you enjoyed this video of Words of Wisdom, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the notification bell. It helps us out a lot, and we hope that these videos provide entertainment and maybe even bring a couple of laughs, because that is what I believe YouTube should be all about. Providing some information and bringing some laughs to the table, as well as maybe even reaching out to others in here. So until then, y'all, cheers, much love.
Tip of the
Bye-bye.
hat, y'all. That's a big tip of the hat,
Oh,
y'all.
that would just be tossing that.
Well, never mind. Yeah.
Bye-bye.